Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Weefu. It's going good. I forgot I had my phone not on silent. I just suddenly hear double of me. Help. Uh, but hi. Okay. I love how I spent so much time setting everything up and then I failed to set everything up. This is fine. It's good. We're good. Nobody saw that. Um, but hello. Hello, hello, hello. I missed yesterday's stream because I slept through it. Sorry. That's gonna happen. I sleep through streams sometimes. Um. For people who have seen my stuff and then watched my VODs for quite a while, you know that one thing. Shut up. One thing that I've always talked about, sort of, is how much I have wanted to get on testosterone, and now I am officially on it. It is a miracle. It's just, let's do a sleep stream. But like, I'm a VTuber, so how the hell do I do a sleep stream as a VTuber? It's just watching the model just kind of lay there, like. uh, but I'm on testosterone officially. Finally, it's only been like 3 months or whatever. Oh. What else has happened? I don't think anything else has really happened. I think I've just been asleep. Not really doing anything else. I guess I did I started thinking when I was just rummaging through my music stuff. I found a song that I was like, "Oh, damn, I'd love to use that from Milgram OC cuz the song is pretty good." And so now I might have the rough draft of a Milgram OC, yeah. I told myself I was gonna wait until I just had the model the eyes open. Ha ha ha. I see. The dangers of thinking. Sky should never do it. When Sky starts to think, he tortures his characters. It's fine. But yeah, now I have a rough draft of that. I haven't written anything, but I have an idea of what I want to do, and I have an idea of the interrogations. Yeah, I wonder who gave it to me. But I do have an idea of like where I want the character to go, and curious on how others would categorize them, right? Of like the verdicts, innocent or guilty. And I'm like, I think most people who I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm not gonna say anything. Never mind, I changed my mind. Anyway, I think the main thing is it's going to be innocent, but I feel like people are going to fight about it. So I build controversial characters. Not really, it's just the crime itself is interesting. At least what I have for it right now. Okay. Not fully. There's a lot more to it, and there's like a lot of extra things because I had no idea. I had like an idea of what I wanted the character to be, but then as I started to be like, okay, but like thinking more about it, I was like, they changed a lot. They were originally gonna be a mother, and then they are not that anymore. So, at least I do have a name for them. Their name is Naomi. They don't have a last name yet. I have to figure out what that's going to be, but Naomi is going to be their name. I will. But yeah, I was thought about a little bit of that. I mostly relaxed today. I turned off all my internet because it was storming. And I was worried if it was going to stop by the time it was time for this. It did. We're good. But yeah, so there was a period, and I ended up playing a game I got on my totally real Nintendo 3DS. I ended up playing Disney Magical World. And, like, weirdly enough, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like, I got it as a joke. I was like, there's no way I'm actually going to enjoy this. I'm just curious, kids game, haha. Why is it so fun, though? Why am I having a lot of fun? I became a cafe owner, and I'm like, hell yeah. Give me customization options, and apparently I'll love your game. Yes. The good old days. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah. I have a lot of the 3DS games, just because I found a bunch that I really enjoyed. It's a classic. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. I apologize. My brain is apparently out of it. I took my medication, I swear. I took it really late, but I did take it. We got fruit snacks, because I thought I ate all my fruit snacks, but apparently they were hiding. So now I have more fruit snacks. Gummy worms. We have ran out of the lemonades. I have drank all the lemonades. So now I have pineapple Fanta, and I have coffee, which I'm not going to drink because that's going to end the stream real quickly if I drink that coffee. Dance Dance Revolution. Dance Dance Revolution seems so fun, though. Like, Just Dance is fun to me. I had a lot of fun playing Just Dance, but, like, then my sister moved, and so I had to stop playing it, because we don't really have room for that. And there's no way we could put it where the camera would be able to see us and still be able to move around. But I had a lot of fun with Just Dance, and I think I'd have a lot of fun with Dance Dance Revolution as well. I like to move. Trying to think. Is there anything I am forgetting? I don't think so. Then again, it's me, so yeah. Who's to say? Oh! I had a question. That's why my brain's like, freaking dumbass. You're supposed to be doing something. I was watching the other day. I was watching a comedy special, and like she was pretty funny. But it made me think, like, could I do stand up? I don't think I could. But like in this hypothetical thing, because there's no way I could because social anxiety. But hypothetically, could I do stand up? I don't know. Because while I'm like, I think I'm funny, I don't know how others view me. I feel like if I were to do stand up, I'd have a very niche audience. You know? It was funny though. The jokes are pretty funny, and I laughed at quite a few of them. thing that made me laugh the most was she was like, she has trouble sleeping, and so she asked the audience for sleep tips, just weird ones, because she's done all the basics, and it made me laugh because, like, same. My insomnia be bad, and it's always funny when we're like a roast because we true. But I remember when my psychiatrist, being too busy stumbling over your words to get a joke out. Yeah. That's true. At least I'd be kind of okay at crowd work. I'd make the crowd bully me, so kind of okay at it. But my psychiatrist, like, when we went to him for the first time, and it was like, oh, what's your sleep schedule like? And we told him, and he was like, that's not a good sleep schedule. It was like, yeah, we know. We basically went through all the basics of, like, well, 1, no electronics. Got that checked. Did not help. I just stared at the ceiling and did not sleep. If anything, it made it worse. So, that was quickly forgotten. Sleep in silence. Did that. I got a panic attack. Never doing that again. Sleep with no lights. No. But, like, there was, like, a whole bunch of things. There was also, like, drinking calm. At this point, the best thing they have is drink coffee before you go to bed, because caffeine makes you sleepy, and it might just help you sleep. Or lucid dream? Lucid dream's when you're, like, aware it's a dream, right? And you walk around. Because if it's that, then yes, I have lucid dreamed before. I've had very interesting dreams before. I've had very realistic dreams before. I've had fantastical dreams. My dreams are just all over the place. Okay, yeah, then yes, I have lucid dreamed before. Well, I failed at opening that. That's fine. It was weird. I don't like lucid dreaming. It feels weird to know that it's a dream. It feels especially weird to me because in times in which I've lucid dreamed, I have woken up and then tried to force myself back to sleep to finish the rest of the dream. So I don't like it that much. It is it falls into the uncanny valley for me, because it's like I'm aware, but also, this is weird. I think also my brain, I have a very overactive imagination, which makes my dreams kind of very intriguing. So much. I've very on purpose tried to go back to sleep to finish dreams before. But I have, my dreams need to be studied by a scientist, man, because they're so detailed and strange. Because apparently the average person doesn't remember the faces in their dreams and don't really look at the faces. Because my mom came to me once and was like, oh yeah, if you see like a face in your dreams and like a person's face and like see all the details about them, that means it's a ghost. And I was like, I see that for every one of my dreams. What are you talking about? Like, if there's another person in my dream, I know their eye color. I know the way their nose looks. I know their mouth shape. Like, it's detailed. It's terrifyingly detailed. And, like, even the fantastical ones can be very detailed. Like, really? I'm like, well, damn, I guess I guess just, like, 20 ghosts on me, I suppose. But it makes it scary, especially for the realistic dreams, because it's like, did that actually happen, or was that a dream? Because I've had dreams in which I've done stuff, like, not played video games, but I remember I had a dream I was streaming once, and, like, everything seemed normal. Everything seemed like it was real, and then I woke up and I was like, did that happen? I had to go back and check the VODs to see if that happened or not. It didn't. Nope. It's fully a dream. Well, yeah, dreams are so intriguing. I will say, I accidentally muted myself. I will say there's the whole, it's not lucid dreaming, but it's like the shifting things where people are like, shift reality, stuff like that. The thing about those, good dreams are so weird, it freaks me. Oh, yeah, at this point I've just gotten used to it, to where it's like, you know what? Yep, this is on par for what I expect. Alright. No, it's stuck in my head too. Such a funny song, man. I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Oh, the shifting realities thing is like, no hate to anyone who does that. Like, you do you, okay? You have fun with what you like. But I hate to break it to you, and I want to hold your hand when I say this. You're just dreaming, babe. You are not shifting realities. It's crazy. It's called using your imagination. Like, I really have no hate to those people, but every time someone describes it to me, I'm like, that's just dreaming. That is literally just your imagination. Crazy. Oh, and I feel so bad about it. So at this point, I've just stayed away from them. Like, I'm good. I'm not gonna say anything to y'all. Because I remember, like, how I first was introduced to the whole shifting realities thing was via this video. And it was just not talking about it, but it was like, oh, I shifted into the Harry Potter world, and I was talking to Fred and George, and I was just like, the fuck you mean shifted? Right? So I looked into it more, and I was like, that... So, to summarize, you had a dream in which you met Fred and George, and you're calling it shifting realities. Got it. You, like, babe, no. No, honey, no. But you know what? Whatever. True. I don't know. Harry Potter is such a weird thing to me because I don't dislike Harry Potter. I feel like if I said I disliked it, people would come for my throat. I don't dislike it. Really, though, that's what it is. They were like, oh my god, I went to this other reality with my favorite comfort character. And I'm like, no, babes, you just used your imagination. It's literally your head. You literally used your brain, and that's what happened. Congrats. But I don't dislike Harry Potter. I just don't. I'm not that much of a fanatic as everyone else, I think. 'Cause, like, I know my house. And then I like Ginny. Really? They daydream once and they're like, I went to another universe. Hun. Oh, he's different. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's just like, a lot of people, my family are big Harry Potter fans, and I'm just over here, never really gotten into it, and I don't know why. It just never really appealed that much to me. I don't know, it might have been the fandom around it when I was looking into it, was just a little bit of a insanity thing at that moment. And I was just like, okay, bye. Like the My Hero Academia. But like, I don't know. I know the basics. At least knowing the basics is better than not knowing anything, I feel. Because if you don't know anything, then you have people coming after you being like, you've never, you know? But if you know the basics, then nobody knows you haven't you read the books or got into them, and nobody knows you haven't seen the movies, you know? If you know the basics, they just assume you have, and you're just there like, I totally know who Wormtail is. That is a name I know. I, in fact, do not know who Wormtail is. I can assume based off, like, what I vaguely know who he might be, but I'm not 100% sure. But, like, honestly, I was the same way with Twilight. I knew the basics, and I did actually read all the books. And my conclusion at the end of the books was, well, that was a waste of fucking time. Like, I did not like the Twilight books either. I was not obsessed either. They're insane, to be honest. They are. Like, there is so much, like, I think it's clear that they're insane when you realize how much merchandise of Harry Potter there is and how expensive that merchandise can get. You're just there like, why though? But it's Hedwig. That necklace is worth $2,000, but it's Hedwig. Bro. Like, they're insane to me for that reason, you know? Like, I'm all for it, like whatever you want. Get merch of whatever you want. But there's, like, a slight limit, you know? Please take care of yourself before you spend all your money. If you've got, like, plenty of money to spend and you want to spend it there, great. But if you don't, please think it through. Yeah. It is very interesting, very, very interesting. Yeah. I'm like, bye. I think I'm just very money conscious, and so people like that confuse the hell out of me, because I'm like, that is no. That is a big old nope. Look, I'm the type of person where I'll see something and I'll look at the price and be like, it's only $20, and I'll put it back down because I'm like, nope, that's a little out of the pay grade right now. Bye-bye. It's not. Like, genuinely, if I went to my mom like, hey, can I get this? She'll probably say yes. But, like, to me, $20 is a lot, okay? I ain't doing that. So I guess that's why they're insane to me. Ugh. Meanwhile, Twilight's just confusing as hell to me because everyone was like, Edward, no Jacob, Bella, all the other hot guys. And I'm over here like, what about fucking Alice? I liked Alice. Alice was the only character I could stand. I was like, give me the girl who can see the future and I'll be good. You know? I don't even like Bella. But I feel like that's not like a crazy sentence to say. There's like plenty of people who think Bella is just very But like I especially hated Bella, not because like she couldn't choose or she's boring or anything like that. I just hated her because her mindset is just the worst. Yeah. $20. It's $20. No. I don't even know. But yeah, I'm sure there is a joke out there somewhere. Someone will find it and put it in the comments. It'll be fine. But Bella, I think what really got me is Bella being mad at her father over anything else. Like, I get being mad at your parents. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm teen. I was a teenager once. I am still a teenager. Even if the law counts me as a young adult. But just the way she treated her dad, it just was like, seriously? Seriously? Like, there was a whole conflict that pissed me off so much of Bella needed to get out of there because there was a vampire chasing after her, and so she was going to leave with Edward, but they needed to find a way for Charlie not to follow them. And so Bella gets in this huge argument with her dad, and is like, I'm going to stay with Edward, and leaves him behind, and comes back later, and I'm like, Bella, crazy idea here. What if you had just gone to your dad and simply said, hey dad, I know it's late notice, but my friend is going through a really bad breakup and she is taking us to like a hotel to, calm down and comfort her. So, I'm not gonna be here for a little bit, but I'll come back and I'll keep in touch when I can. Like, would that have been hard to say? Why did you have to fight with him? You very much could have made an excuse. There were excuses you could have used. Hell, even like, because she's going with the Collins family. So, and like, their dad is like the big hotshot doctor, right? She could have just said, hey dad, I'm learning from the doctor about medical stuff and we're gonna go on a field trip. I'll be back. You trust him. Like, there were better ways to do that. Yes, yeah, I agree with that. I very much agree with that. And in some medias, it can be like, okay, fair enough, Like, it's a miscommunication. Well, it's a silly little rom-com, so it's fine. But this, like, the Twilight books took themselves so seriously that it felt out of place, So out of place. What made me laugh, though, was Midnight Sun, I believe is what it's called. Came out fairly recently, I believe. And Midnight Sun, for those who don't know and haven't been cursed yet with this popping up on their feed, Midnight Sun is Edward's side of the story. It is Twilight, but from the vampire's point of view. And people read it and were like, damn, Edward really was like a simp for Bella. And I was like, none of you realize that? Because I called that out when I read the first Twilight books. I was like, damn, Edward's just obsessed with her and like would do anything for her. And so many people would tell me, no, you're wrong. Edward's mysterious and he cares for Bella, but he's not like a simp for her or anything, I was like, yes, he is. I felt so vindicated, man. I was like, damn. Apparently reading Midnight Sun and Twilight back to like, at the same time is hilarious. Because there's, like, a lot of differences between... I don't know. I don't want to read it. I have very much left Twilight behind. Buried. Never to come up again type of thing. Except for in specific situations, you know? Oh no. Well, I might play it just to make fun of it, you know? If there was a Twilight game that came out, I would just play it just to make fun of it. Because I'd be so curious on how the hell they'd... It is so insane. There's so much stuff that happens that it's like... The fuck? Okay, one of the biggest, weirdest parts to me, that first, like, giant-ass red flag to me, is Bella is alone in the cities. She went out with her girlfriends, and she runs into these guys, and these guys are not letting up, right? They're being very creepy and, like, clearly about to do something to her. And Edward pulls up in his car, very expensive car, and just kind of, like, what's it called? The front lights are just shining on them. And Bella's like, Edward, what are you doing here? And she goes with him, and she's like, oh, he saved me. And I'm like, Bella, you have traded one danger for a fucking another. I'm sorry. Number one, this man pulls up in his car, so not even just himself, his car, fully about to run over these men, and possibly you, Bella. The fuck are you doing going with him? Exactly. And I was like, number two, Bella, you don't bother to ask how the fuck he found you? Because at this time, she was arguing with him. So, you know, just maybe, I'd find it a little fucking suspicious if my partner that I was fighting with just straight up pulled up to save me. Oh no, it wasn't. Oh, she has no sense of stranger danger. Also, the book tries so hard to convince you that Bella is a good person, when there is a whole conflict in which vampires, being fucking vampires, see Bella and try to go after her because she's their prey. And they killed the guy who tried to go after her. Okay, fair enough, right? And his partner gets fucking pissed and goes after Bella herself. And the book tries to portray it as, how dare she be mad? A difficult night somehow. Good night, y'all. Good night, Weave. Good night. I hope you sleep well. But yeah, that was just baffling to me. That she, that the book tries so hard to be like, oh no, she's wrong for wanting to invoke revenge. 'Cause you killed her boyfriend. What? Like, what? In, like, her mind, her going after Bella made total sense. By the way, it wasn't even Bella who killed the guy. It was Edward who did it without Bella's knowledge. And granted, like, the girl going after Bella seems like, oh, but Bella didn't know. But also, she doesn't know that. from her point of view, the human yeah, I don't blame you. It's so insane, it's so stupid, and it's so like, really man, it's also so weird that they have this whole conflict with the whole boyfriend girlfriend thing, right? And then here shows up this council of vampires, and they're like, oh, they're bad, they're very bad. It's not like they're keeping the world in order, or keeping vampires in control, so, you know, human population doesn't just fucking vanish. It's crazy. Crazy that they're, you know, in charge of that. But yeah, no, they're the bad guys for not wanting a vampire and a human together. Because... what? Like... huh? I wanted to know more about them, too. That's the part that pissed me off so much. I hated so much of Twilight, but the only part I actually liked was that council of vampires. Because they intrigued the hell out of me. I wanted to know more about them. I was like, what's their past? What have they been through? They have lost friends. They have made enemies. And they have reconciled with one another. I want to know their stories. And the book just goes, haha, fuck you. No. We are told they are powerful, they are bad, and nothing else. Like, we even get a scene of like, oh, they can threaten Edward with something. And Bella doesn't know what that something is. And it's never told what that something is. But it's never shown again. They are shown at the very end. No, they're not even shown at the very end. It's just... yeah, because it was a... pissed me the fuck off was I thought we were going to see the council again and get to know them more. We don't. But there was going to be a whole big war that happened, right? The movie did a little haha and was like, would you believe? It was just a premonition that Alice was having. I was like, I'm gonna murder you, movie. You hear me? I've never hated someone so much for having some okay ideas because their book is so bad. I wish it was like, oh, it's badly written. You know? If it was badly written, I'd be less pissed off. But it's not, and that's the worst part. It's like, why? How do you write so well, but have such a stupid cast of crew in your book? I think there's two things that creeped me out when it came to Twilight. And ignoring one other blatantly obvious thing. But two big things. When Bella was pregnant, because Bella gets pregnant, spoilers, do not care. Do not watch it. Please don't. For your own sanity, do not watch it. Bella gets pregnant. Edward's freaking out because the child is clearly eating her alive. And Bella refuses to give it up. So he's like, I don't know what to do. So he calls up Jacob, and Jacob's the fucking werewolf. And he's like, Jacob, I need your help. Pregnant? No, I wasn't pregnant. Bella got pregnant. From Twilight. Bella got pregnant. But Edward was just like, Jacob, please help me. I don't know what to do about her. And this line will always creep me out of, like, I don't care what happens. I don't even care if she has pups. Says the vampire about his pregnant wife to the werewolf. I was like, the implications of that make me want to murder that man so quickly. Because the fuck? Not only does that statement, one, disregard his wife in her entirety. Poor Bella. But two, disregard Jacob as well. I know you have feelings for my wife, so, you know, you can do this. Like, no. What the fuck? Oh, and also the whole Jacob imprinting on Nessie. You know, the literal child. That creeped me out, too. I was like, what the fuck happened? Where did we go? Why are we here? Why does this exist? How was this popular? I do not like the messages in this whatsoever. Please run. Please send help. Anyway, away from my Twilight rant, because Twilight is just very we have a game to play. It's almost like that's why I stream, is I stream and playing games and not just talking. Where the wolf is beating. Yeah. Yeah, game. Because we're continuing Everlasting Summer. And I don't actually remember where the hell we are. So it's going to be interesting. I know I did learn a whole bunch of stuff about the game and stuff. Also things to ignore. We're on day 4. Okay. I vaguely remember things. Vaguely. I don't remember things. What is happening? Hold on. My eyes started to close and I fell asleep a moment later. Oh, okay. Hellish ringing. Oh, that's an alarm clock. The ringing seemed to be coming from the depths of my consciousness. What? Sam, we just started. What are you going on about, man? But after I came to the senses, I realized the cause of this ringing is my alarm clock. So I was right, and you're just a dramatic bitch. Good to know, good to know. Oh, no. I did something stupid and almost closed everything. That would have been very, very bad. Luckily, I saved myself. Alarm clock. Strange. Where did it come from? Why is it standing near my bed? It was 7:30, according to the clock. Olga had already left, and there was nobody to force me to go to the lineup. Thus, I can sleep in a bit more. I closed my eyes, but it seemed like my consciousness had already had its coffee and was ready for a long, productive day. I need to get up. I should plan my day out. After all, I need to at least find out something today. Oh, right, you're still on about this. But still, nothing came to my head. Alyssa. Fine, I need to wake up completely and wash myself. Oh! On my way to the washstands, I met Xania. Hey! What's got you up so early? Anything wrong with being up early? She looked at me as if I insulted her. No, nothing. Just curious. None of your business. Gosh, Xania wasn't very sympathetic even when she's in a good mood. But today she just looked furious. Oh, somebody pissed her off. Who pissed her off? That's the question. Oh! It was us. Memory has just came back. Xenia asked us to go to the library with her for like lunch the day before to the game. And we did not do that. So yeah, no wonder she's kind of pissed off at us. We traded everything for Alyssa. The cold water perked me up. The fog in my head dissipated and my thoughts started arranging themselves. Curiously, I started worrying about finding a good place in the canteen more than about finding answers. I brushed my teeth and was going to leave when a quiet sound wafted past my ears. It's probably a squirrel or some other animal, or the child. I heard another sound, but this time a bit further. I walked 10 meters along the path, searching for the source. Nobody, just the morning forest. Oh, found her. We stood her up. No, we did stand Xenia up. In my defense, there wasn't an option to go to her, so... Because my original plan was like, yeah, screw all the other activities. We'll do Xenia. And then Alyssa was like, hey, hang out with me. And I was like, well, we gotta go with her. I did not get a choice here. I just followed what the game said. I returned to wash hands and see Miku. Hi. I still don't know how to feel about you. Was looking for something in the grass. Noticing me, she smiled and jumped up to me. Oh, hello! Good morning! I guess I scattered my tooth powder, just trying to gather it all back up. The dewy grass didn't seem to be helping matters. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, why? What else can I do? I don't have any more. It was the last I had. She pouted like a child who had just had her favorite toy taken from her. Here, I'll give you mine. I dug into my bed. No tooth powder there. Strange. Didn't I just put it in there? I walked away for just a minute and now it's gone. By the storyline game. Yes, I was. I was very much held at gunpoint. It said, you're going to go to the dance. JK, you're not going to the dance. You're going to Alyssa. Fuck you. Because, like, I legitimately was waiting for that choice of, do you want to go to the dance or go with Alyssa? And the game was like, no, you don't get a choice in this. No. You're straight up going to Alyssa. You don't get to wonder if you could have gone to the dance. That's, no. Something in my eye. Get out. Okay, I think I got it. Walked away. Listen, it looks like I've forgotten it. I didn't want to tell her it just gone missing. Knowing the sensitivity of this girl, it's safe to assume the vanishing household goods would impress her so much that her brain would reset itself in order to avoid overheating. That is a lot of words to say. I don't want to tell her because I don't want to tell her I'm a dumbass. Well, I'll be off. Yeah, cheers. Visit, visit me in the music club. I'm still alone there, but oh yeah, I'm assuming Alyssa's also in the music club, but she doesn't want anyone else knowing, so she's telling Miku, like, threatening her, like, Miku, you didn't say anything to the new guy, did you? No, I never say anything. Good. That's good. I'll get you more tooth powder. Like, Alyssa's scary to everyone. Getting back to the leader's cabin, I took my cell phone and looked at the battery meter. Enough power for a day, maybe even less. Of course, it wouldn't help me much in here, but still. Finding a charger in the 80s would mean inventing it. The music club is empty for no reason why. Yes. It's, just Miku, who is a questionable and interesting character, because, this is, canonically, in the time that this is set, doesn't exist. Miku the Vocaloid does not exist in this time yet. So, her being Miku and having the twin is like, oh, hello, what is this? And she's the only one in the music club, supposedly. But Alyssa plays guitar, so I think she's also in it, but just threatening Miku to be like, it's empty, isn't it? Yes, there's no one in the music club. Good. Like... Still, regardless, the morning was shining and beautiful. The bright sun was shining over the space and time-displaced pioneer camp owl, warming its residents and filling them with energy to spend the day productively. Or in my case, to waste it in futile efforts to find an explanation for everything. It's been, Sem, baby, hun. It's been 4 days of you relentlessly trying to figure out why you're here. It might be time to give it up. It might be time to just be like, yeah, this is my new reality, and accept it. Just a thought. Just a thought. There was an unusual large crowd near the canteen. Of course, there were no other place in the camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen, but why they're all crowding on the porch? I wonder why no one helped me out. Closer to find out what was going on. It looked like all the camp had gathered at the porch. There were all the familiar girls, Olga and Electronik. Where's Sharik? They were having a lively discussion. I drew closer. Ah, Sam! Oh no, we've been caught. What's up? Have you seen Sharik today? Hey! That's what I said! I was like, where's Sharik? And there you go. No idea where the man went. Do we need to go find him? Nope, what's the matter? We haven't been able to find him since early this morning. Oh, that's not good. Electronik's gonna be alone if we don't find him. Disappearing pioneers, well that's something new. But he was with you yesterday. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Well, okay. He was for a little bit. And then we left. So... Are we the problem? Are we the reason? Where did he go? She was talking to Electronik. Oh, thank God. They don't know about the secret meeting at, like, midnight. The secret meeting was more like, hey man, why didn't you come to the party? At a date. A date? With Alyssa. Oh, that's not a date. That is, that is a threat. I know. That's why I had to go. So I guess he stayed with Electronik then. Yes, he was. Yep. So he woke up this morning and he wasn't anywhere to be found. No. Why didn't you come to me immediately? Well, I thought he got up earlier and went to wash up or something, which is kind of fair. The Electronik bros are not the brightest pack of light bulbs. Did he mention anything yesterday? Hi, creepy girl. Time to split up and look for clues. Exactly. I'm gonna Scooby-Doo this. It's fine. Just don't leave me alone with her. And we're good. She scares me way too much. Introduction itself. For example? That he was going somewhere, for instance. Nope. What exactly is so horrifying about that? It's only 9 a.m. He might have decided to go for a walk. You don't know Sharik. She looked over at me seriously. Oh, hello. We're dead. Why'd you piss her off, Sam? Well, no, I don't. But I didn't see anything suspicious in this situation. Okay, let's stop panicking. We'll find him. Child. How could he miss breakfast? Go away, Yana. Yana grinned. Exactly. Time to eat anyway. Alyssa! The pioneers proceeded into the canteen. Yet again, I had no choice where to fit in. The only free place was at the table with Alyssa and Yana. I mean, fuck the child, but Alyssa! Take a seat. She pointed to the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you gonna get your food? Good idea. I hadn't thought about that. I don't trust you. Last time we did this, you put a bug in my food. Look, you might be very short. I also might be short. But I will punt you as far as I can if you did it again. Today's breakfast didn't look much different from yesterday's, but it looked more appealing, appetizing. Or maybe I was just very hungry. Or maybe I was eager to finish it off as soon as possible to avoid yet another Yana prank. Wanna go to the beach with us today? Hell yeah. When? Right after breakfast. General speaking, relaxation wasn't on the agenda today, but if I was going to spend my time thinking, why wouldn't I do it while getting a suntan? Yeah, kind of. It's a pioneer camp, so you know, how good can the food be? If you think of it in terms of summer camp. Yeah. Sure, why not? Ah, cool. She smiled nicely. Oh, I don't trust that. I bet you're planning another prank? No, not at all. Yana waved her hands at me. She sure is, Alyssa. Alyssa, we had that wonderful date, and I know I pissed you off, but please. I didn't do shit. Sam pissed you off. I'm sorry. He's a dumbass. At the best of times. He's an idiot at the worst. Alyssa grinned. She's always like that. I looked at Alyssa attentively and suddenly remembered yesterday evening. Her strange behavior, our quarrel, which was mostly your fucking fault, but okay. But now, she looked like usual. Maybe there's no need to say anything to her? You're dying, my guy. Good luck. Though I wasn't going to. At the end of the day, everything that happened that night stopped seeming unusual, as if it was all a dream. Sim. You're going to say that to her face, aren't you? You're going to say that it was a dream, and she's going to murder you for it, and I'm just going to applaud her, because you said a lot of dumbass shit to her. We got first-hand experience on why Sim doesn't have a girlfriend. Because, oh my god, the amount of fuck-ups you did. Like, I get she's difficult, but you're worse. It was a dream so far. So far. No way, Yana. What's that blush? I think she's right. Nobody believes me. Yana took her tray of dirty dishes and stood up. Enjoy your meal. She said it in such a way which left no doubt. Nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Me and Alyssa were left alone. Hi. You know, I guess I shouldn't go with you after all. Sim. Why is that? Well, I've got something to do. Sim! And what exactly would that be? She looked into my eyes and I couldn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't even have a swimsuit. Try my... I'm sorry. Run that back? I mean, I feel like she might be a little mad, Sim, at what you said yesterday. Just by this alone. You think it will fit me? give it a try. I don't think it's worth the effort. Oh, don't be a wimp. We'll find you some swimming trunks. Those words only added to my fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. You better wait some. Okay. There's nothing wrong for waiting for her, is there? Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own business, hurried past me one by one. No one stopped by me, no one even looked in my direction. It seemed they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just another teenager their age. Their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to consider this camp and its inhabitants with not as much caution as I had on the first day. Oh, yes, I remember. You at least think they're human now. Man's walked into the camp like, oh my god, you're all aliens. Like, no, Sim. Give it a few days, Sim. So at least there's that. Indeed, Alyssa was back in a couple of moments. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks. Though you could hardly call them trunks. Did she give you a Speedo? They looked like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. You know what? You deserve it, man. Actually, they were boxers. You deserve it, man. I'm almost afraid to ask, but where did you get these? Too scared to put them on? Well, you know, I have not the slightest intention of doing so. I appreciate your joke, but was it's a furry cult. Oh no. Make myself a laughing stock. Put them on. She said roughly. Why don't you try them on instead of me, Sim? I think the color of the swimsuit would set off your eyes very nicely. Sim. Let's make a bet. I have no desire to accept it. You better accept. No thanks, Sim. Alright. You either go to the beach wearing them, or you swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than Sim. I'm not planning on going anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone you left those trunks in my cabin. And why would I do that? How should I know? She burst into laughter. I didn't want to argue with Alyssa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in these flamboyant trunks. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late. She ran off after saying that. I dragged my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel and hopefully find something like trunks. Olga was waiting for me in the room. Hi. Sim, did you hear anything about Sharik? Oh, no. I forgot about him. My bad. I forgot that's the whole reason, you know, the canteen and everything. My bad. You already left my mind. Same as half an hour ago. I walked over to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yes, to the beach. Wait, do you have swimming trunks? You came here without any luggage, as I recall. Strange that fact didn't seem to surprise her during our first encounter. Who's getting in here? Olga? This is her room. Sim and her are sharing a room. I don't know why either. They'd just be... I don't know. I stopped questioning things after a bit. But she's like their, leader. She's older than them. But she's not an adult. From what I've gathered. So, actually, there are no adults in this. No, there are. There's one. There's the nurse. Uh-oh. What I can't business. I don't know. It's a pioneer camp. I don't know. I've just been thinking of it as a really weird summer camp, okay? This might just be how their camps are set up, because this game was created by a Russian development team. This is the English translation of the game. So this is just might actually be commonplace. Like, this is how it's set up for them. Because I have no idea. No. So, what will you wear? Good question. What? I don't know. Wait a minute. She walked over to the wardrobe and unlocked a drawer. In a moment, she had a pair of normal black trunks. Where did she get those? More importantly, why? Someone from the previous session might have forgotten them. Considering all the strange things in this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimming trunks in Olga's room. Thanks. No. These trunks were just my size. I got changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. A lot of pioneers had already gathered here, but I only recognized Alyssa and Yana. Come here. I walked over to them and sat on the sand. Ooh, hello. I see you found something better. She stared at my trunks and smirked. As you can see... Come on, let's swim. I don't want to. Maybe later. I'm not a fan of swimming. Suit yourself. The girls ran into the water. Why did I come here? Why am I not looking for answers? Because you said this might be better to think about. Beautiful. The water looks so beautiful. I just noticed it. Like, all the backgrounds in this game are just absolutely gorgeous. And then there's just Sem being a dumbass. Should I care about it now? You really shouldn't. Owl seemed normal. Certainly, a lot of strange things have happened to me during these 3.5 days, but not one of them, taken separately, seemed at all supernatural. Especially since I didn't get any closer to finding so much as a clue. On the contrary, everything that has happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? I won't get any truth from the local residents because they've been living here for quite a bit and like this is their everyday. Sem walks up to them. What's weird about this place? What are you talking about, man? It's the same as it always has been. But it is weird. Like, Sem. It is the beach episode. Don't question it, Sem. Like, don't question it at all. It is a soy anime, yes. Although I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? But how far can I walk, considering I don't even know where I am? Didn't you try this? I swear he tried this. He tried to walk away from the bus and was like, oh, that goes on forever. Never mind, I'm heading back to the bus and where the camp is. And then he entered the camp. It turns out my only option is to wait. After some time, the girls came back. Yana held something in her hands. Oh no. Look! I looked up and saw a crayfish. Just a normal crayfish. Oh. Oh. Yana lay next to me and started to torment it. Leave the poor animal alone. Why? It's just a crayfish. So what? It has a right to live too. I'll rip its claws off and ask the cook to boil it for dinner. As if we have nothing else to eat. I looked at Alyssa. She seemed to be totally uninterested in Yana's fun with the poor sea creature. Tell her. What's wrong? It's a crayfish. It deserves it. It looked like the girls missed their lessons on nature in primary school and lacked empathy for the environment. The girl who likes to prank everyone and the girl who very much frightens everyone somehow lack empathy. You just realized this, Sim? These are the two gals who care the least about everyone. It really is so. This game might have some fan service. Just a bit. Give it. Or snatch the crayfish off of Yana. Suit yourself. I was a little surprised she didn't resist. I looked into the eyes of the poor animal. They didn't express anything at all, but I thought if it could speak, it would be outraged. Maybe it would even go into the UN Convention of Human Rights. To tell the truth, I wasn't sure that would help. I took the crayfish to the river and set it free. Never mind, I'll catch more. There are plenty of them in here, said Yana. No doubt about it, I mumbled. Time passed and I was getting sleepy. I fell asleep. I don't remember what I was dreaming about, or if I was dreaming at all, but I woke up when someone shook my shoulder. Hi? Oh. You. Hi. Olga stood next to me. Did you come to swim too? I asked, still half asleep. No, it's almost time for lunch and we still can't find Sharik. The leader said, standing before me in a wet swimsuit. And? I want you to look for him. Seems like I'm the only pioneer in this entire camp. I was sincerely outraged. Every time it was getting clearer that Olga considered me her errand boy to be used like a slave. That is such bullshit. She's asked you, what, like a few times if you could do something for her? And like, no, nothing else? Like, you have legitimately disobeyed her orders before, man. You don't get to be like, she's using me as her errand boy. You ran away from your responsibilities. And she didn't punish you for it. So, you know, suck it up. Or vice versa. If I come to you, I want you to help me. Why exactly me? However, after giving it some thought, I decided to agree. After all, my shoulders and back got sunburned while sleeping, and searching for Sharik would let me get acquainted with unexplored locations of the camp. Okay. It wasn't exactly right to wander around wearing only swim trunks, so I should get changed first. 10 minutes later, I stood outside Olga's cabin, deciding where to go. Oh ho ho. We get to explore the outside now. Oh. Okay. Save. Okay. The forest, the bus stop, the boathouse. And then this is the beach. Trying to think. I feel like if we go to the bus stop, we're just going to get Sam being all dramatic, like, I could leave, when he can't. The forest feels questionable. I worry who might be in the forest. The boathouse. I might as well do the bus stop. I'm in the forest, actually. It's obviously that Olga and her pioneers had searched every nook and cranny of the camp, roamed the length and breadth of it. So it's probably not worth looking for Sharik in the canteen or on the beach. Or the Cybernetics Club. It was his second home. Or maybe even his first. Thus, it might be worth looking around the surrounding forest. I didn't plan to go far into the forest, otherwise it might be me who they'll be searching for tomorrow. I didn't really visit the countryside often. I just stayed in a country house every summer during my childhood. But that one was very close to the city. But in this camp, it was possible to find everything I hadn't seen for so long. Overwhelming vegetation, singing birds, and fresh air. I found a meadow and sat on a stump. How peaceful this place is. But where in the world is Sharik? Actually, he could have been taken against his will. The camp is far from normal. Only to you! I think that's what gets me the most, is Sem being like, this camp is so weird, it's like not normal at all. And the camp is like completely normal. It's just weird to Sem because he's time traveled. It's like, buddy, it's just you. You're the issue. You are the problem. So my near disappearances should not at all be strange. An intriguing possibility. Could it work in whichever force sent me here, or is it some separate local entity's doing? Lost in my own thoughts, I didn't know how the grass before me started moving. I looked closely and I saw a squirrel. It approached me carefully and stared at my hands. It's probably used to getting fed here. Sorry, friend, I don't have anything with me. Of course, the squirrel could now understand me, and it continued to sit there waiting for treats. I felt sorry for it because I didn't have a crumb of bread in my pocket. I realized that I'm even ashamed to look it in the eyes and decided to move on. After some more wandering, I came across the wash stands. It turns out he's not in the forest either. Or, at least not in the surrounding area. And going farther is just frightening. I walked to the wash stands, took off my shirt, and tried to wipe myself down because I was all sweaty. However, it wasn't so easy. I won't be able to get into the wash bowl, and there isn't even a ladle. Suddenly, I heard footsteps from behind. I turned around. Electronik! Hey, buddy. Electronik was walking my direction. Looking for Sharik? Yeah. You too? Me too. Listen, you know him better. Where could he have gone? I don't have a clue, he answered sadly. Well, I still don't understand why everyone has made such a fuss. During the night, wasn't he in the cabin with you? Then he couldn't have been gone for too long. Maybe he went for a walk. A walk past lunchtime? It's a really long walk, Sem. You don't know Sharik. He's also, like, Cybernetics Club, man. They're not exactly known for outdoorsy thing. So Electronik excitedly. He is fanatically dedicated to his work. Yeah, we heard about this. That Sharik practically lives out of the Cybernetic Club. His life consists of robots and cybernetics. People like him are 1 in a million. No, in a billion. His talent is boundless. I look up to him. He is a man of steel. Got it. No, simply triumphant. At that moment, he looked like Hitler, making a speech in front of a crowd of thousands. Even his gestures matched. Okay. So what? So what? You don't understand, do you? No. He spends all of it, you see, all of his free time in our club. All. So disappearing just like that is unusual for him? Of course. It seems Electronik calmed down. Okay. He looked at me intently. Are you going to wash? Not really. Just rinse off a little. It is hot. Me too. He looked around. I wish there was a bucket or a ladle, something to get more water with. Yeah, I noticed already. Then let's do this. He walked behind wash stands and pulled on one of their taps. To my surprise, its end turned up, and rather than pouring into the wash bowl, the water splashed up at almost a 90-degree angle. 90 degrees. You can manage to wash yourself that way. The fuck? Hey! I was not expecting this! What is this? What is the music? I think the music's the thing that concerns me most. Sim, what is happening? Meanwhile, Electronik took off his shirt and then squatted. It seemed like he pulled down his shorts. I couldn't really tell because the washstand he was behind concealed him up to his waist. He jerked to the stream. Sorry. I wasn't expecting this. And started to sing something quietly. Let's clean my chimney, chimney sweep. Sam, do you have something to tell the audience? Like, no hate, man. I needed some warning before this just showed up. I stood astonished, not knowing what to do. I'm sorry, I need to say this. This is just... What is this? Oh, he seemed to notice it. I'll wash myself and then I'll let you use... Gosh, I got such a massive chill! Well, you know, I just remembered I have something to do. I gotta, you know, I gotta go. Out of all the incentives of Electronik, the moment I just saw was the weirdest one. Hey, what's up with you? A cold shower on such a hot day is like the best thing ever. No. This won't do. Anyway. So I'm freaking out over here like, I think I might have just discovered something about myself that I didn't want to discover. Yeah, we have to go. Run. You'll find Sharik. I put on my shirt quickly and run back into the forest. I wonder what's gotten into him. Into him? What's gotten into you? I was not expecting that. Not at all. Oh, that was great. I love that. I don't think Electronik has an actual root. He's not an actual, like, romanceable, character. So, like... Huh? Anyway, let's go to the boathouse. Maybe Sharik decided to pick up stones near the water. In the worst case, I'll find his corpse. Hey, not my first thought being, well, at least Electronik's boyfriend would be out of the way then. No. But I'm sure it won't end up that way. I was crossing the square when somebody called out to me. Alyssa! Baby girl, we needed you. We really needed you, man. Wait. Alyssa came up and smiled. I immediately sensed a trap. Fall for it, man. Where are you going? I'm searching for Sharik. Olga asked me to. And how is it? Exciting? More than I thought it would be. Oh, more than I thought it would be. Oh. She looked intently into my eyes and I turned away awkwardly. Not really. But you know. A pioneer is missing. Sure, you're not freaking out over such a minor thing. What do you mean? Only a few hours have passed. Maybe we just lost track of time while having a walk. Certainly I had the same idea, but I wasn't telling her that. Yeah, that's true. But who knows what could have happened. Let me help you with it. With what? I got suspicious. With looking for Sharik. Oh, but I can do it. Oh, come on. She smiled at me, but there was something malevolent? That word. In that smile. Naturally, her smile was cute enough, but it seemed like there was something behind it. Well, if you insist. How could I not understand what's on her mind? Since I could not understand what's on her mind, and I had no real reason to refuse. But before we go, I have to get one thing from home. Okay, I'll wait for you. You're actually serious about just standing there? Let's go. Okay. Oh, your cabin's sick. Damn, who do you share with? We approached Alyssa's cabin. It would be like all the other cabins if not for the Jolly Roger on the door. By the way, Yana is my roommate. That explains why you two get along so well. Okay. I'm sure Yana was kicked out from everyone else. Ooh, love your posters. We entered the cabin. The complete chaos inside really reminded me of my old flat. Although, why I thought of it as old. In general, I would imagine a girl's room differently. Snow white sheets, walls, floor, and ceiling shining, spotless. No, Sim. No. That, it's this crazy thing called Girls Are People Too. And they kind of, can make messes too. Like, no, man. It's a bedroom. It's gonna get messed up. Some people are able to keep their rooms very neat and tidy. Some people are not. It is not a gender thing. But when you can send these two most exemplary, pioneers are living here, we just stood silently for some time. So what did you need to get? Huh? It seems like I interrupted Alyssa's thinking. Yeah. It's not here, actually. Wait here, I'll be back in a minute. She smiled and ran out. She seems really flaky today. I began to examine the room. I wouldn't say that there had been an explosion, it was just a decent mess. Well, at least looking at this mess created in one pioneer session, I can surely say that I'm not the messiest person in the world. The decoration of my apartment took years to be completed. I wasn't thinking about anything in particular and was just looking around the room. Posters of Soviet artists, some books on the shelves, various household items. Then I realized that everything is wrong. What are you talking about? Something will happen soon. Something bad. Why does the music get all upbeat? It's like the type of music you hear on the dance floor, like, at school parties. Like, what's happening? Why did Alyssa leave me here all alone? There was something I had to discover. My gut told me it was dangerous to stay here. I went to the door and tried to open it. Locked. What a surprise. How did she manage to quietly lock me in? I don't know what's on her mind, but I need to get out. Need to get out of here. I went to the window and opened it and climbed out. Now, I can go back and take care of business, or I chose the second option and waited. Good boy! What was the reason she had me locked up? I wanted to know what was happening, plus I really wanted to see Alyssa's face when she finds her room empty. I hid in the bushes next to the house and waited. After some time, I heard footsteps. Alyssa and Olga came to the house. You'll see everything for yourself. She opened the door and went in. A few seconds later, she ran back out. You know why Alyssa's face looked like she just won the mouse catching competition, but at the last moment found out it's not a real Olympic sport. Sam. So he just disappeared? Olga asked skeptically. I did the right thing by closing the window after myself. Oh no. You know, I understand everything, Alyssa. You and your roommate, every time, the same thing. Haven't you had enough? But it's true. Really? One story after another. Sam in your cabin. Sam harassing you. Why do you keep lying? It's horrible. Alyssa seemed really upset, and to my surprise, was not trying to argue. On one hand, it was funny to look at. On the other hand, I felt a bit sorry for her. She deserves it, though. I feel bad, but like, yeah, kinda deserved. I later finally finished scolding her and left. Alyssa was mad. She clenched her fist and trembled. Her face was flushed, and it seemed to me like she was going to explode. Assumingly, this is revenge for what happened last time. I sat in the bushes and laughed quietly. However, I was wondering what was on her mind, and I came out of my hiding place, not afraid of being beaten. So, what exactly did you want to show the player? Me? Alyssa turned and looked at me in disbelief. After a moment, surprise turned to anger. You! What about me? She calmed down a bit. I wanted to get even with you. She smirked. Meaning? You lost the bet. So I wanted to show the camp leader how you're stalking me. I wonder what Olga could find in this situation. I wonder what wrong Olga could find in this situation, but let's move on. I see. Maybe I should apologize to you? I asked sarcastically. Screw you. My guy, you did piss her off, like, a lot. And, essentially told her her talents were useless. So, she mad. She shouldn't have done that, but she mad. She went into the house, slamming the door. I wasn't angry at Alyssa. In the end, I expected her to do something like this. Anyway, I got through it without consequences. I was very lucky. Her confusion and embarrassment just made my day. Chuckling, I left Alyssa's cabin, which was about to become my death trap. Oh, Yana's gonna come after you. I went to lunch with mixed feelings, with a sense of accomplishment and with a realization of wasted time. The canteen was crowded. I couldn't stay unnoticed. Olga called me. Sem, come with us. The camp leader, Salve, and Electronik were sitting at the 4-seat table. I nodded and went over to get my food. This time I had to spend several minutes in the queue. Today's menu didn't really differ from other days' menu. The dishes looked the same, at least. When I sat at the table and wished bon appetit to everyone, Olga said, "So what are you thinking?" "About what?" "We searched for Sharik all around. It's noon and he's nowhere to be found." Olga's like, "And I heard you were in Alyssa's cabin." I mean, she was lying, but like, where have you been? I took note of the rhyme, but didn't want to point it out. We looked all over the camp. I even went around the neighboring forest. So did I. Oh, I know you did, Electronik. Every time someone sees Sem talking to Electronik, they're just gonna see Sem just turn bright red. Be so confused, like, what happened between them? Olga looked at me. And I helped too. We must call the police. Maybe we should wait until the evening. Mans who has been, I want to get out of here as soon as possible, is denying calling the police? That you could escape from? Escape with? Make it make sense. Sam's just an idiot. I asked lazily. Maybe he went home. That can't be. Sharik lives thousands of miles away. By train? The nearest station, she paused, is far off. Now it was getting interesting. Every time the conversation reached the point concerning ways I could leave Owl, all the camp inhabitants started changing the subject. How far is far? Really far. The camp leader looked at me, indicating with her expression that asking more questions was not advised. So we should go deeper into the forest. Maybe he got lost. Sharik always takes a compass, chimed in Electronik. I wonder what else could be found in his magical vest, assuming he has one. If I were to get lost in the forest, a compass would be of no real use. Police! We should call the police in the evening. Not right now, at least. Okay. So you'll do that later. Do it later. We all were silent. We should be able to find him before evening. We still have time. If he actually got lost, we have no time to lose. We can't be sure. Then where is he? Where? There's some truth to the camp leader's words. Hiding the whole day just like that is suspicious. Why would he do that? Sharik seemed to me to be a quite serious pioneer. Yana would be better fit for this behavior. So there is a good reason to believe that he was gone. All that can be done has already been done. We'll just have to wait. Salve, Electronik, and Olga looked at me so sorrowfully, but didn't say a word. I finished my lunch, took the tray back, and left the canteen. There was still half a day left. What now? The camp was drifting off for an afternoon nap. Only Genda stared at me through his glasses. Of course, he was staring somewhere else, but I had a feeling he was constantly watching me. I bet he knows where Sharik is hiding. Speak, statue, speak! He just can't say anything. The disappearance of the cybernetics club leader made me think. Maybe it's got something to do with my case? Ah! You! Hi. If you ask me to come back with you, I'm not. Oh, Pioneer. The nurse stood in front of me. I looked at her curiously. Go and take my place in the infirmary. Oh, you're not going to be there? Because if you're not there, then I will happily do it. But if you are there, I will not do it. I have an urgent call. Somebody is injured. Somebody is injured? Sharik? Me? Yes, you. Take the keys. The nurse threw me the keys and ran away. Why me? Is there anyone else in this camp? What exactly should I be doing? What if something happens? Oh, what do I do now? I missed my chance to refuse. I stood in front of the door uncertainly. On one hand, there's nothing wrong, nothing to worry about it. I'll spend half an hour or so here and she'll be back. But what if somebody comes for actual help? With a broken leg or a head injury? I began to worry too much. I hope there's no injuries more serious than bruises and scratches in this camp. But at the same time, I could not shake the idea that in a serious situation, I would be absolutely useless. You are correct, Sam. From everything we know about you, you are absolutely correct. You would be the most useless person. Fruit snacks. I love my fruit snacks. I don't even know how to perform CPR. A magazine on the nurse's table got my attention. Oh no. A good way to relax, I guess. It's labeled Soviet fashion. Okay. The publication date or month were absent. However, this was not a surprise. There were much stranger things here. I don't know much about Soviet magazines. Maybe they actually didn't have publication dates on them. Models dressed in old-fashioned clothes stared at me from the glossy pages. Nowadays, nobody would wear such clothes. I smirked. I wonder if Salve, for example, considered this fashionable. I can only imagine what would happen if she appeared in my time wearing something like this. Imagine we're walking hand in hand, I'm wearing my coat with a hood, and she is dressed in a lavish dress, covered with lace and things. Why Salve? You don't like Salve, Sam. You and Salve barely know each other, and I find her terrifying. Seemed like I was already imagining Salve in my world. With me. Don't. No. And not only Salve, thank you. This dress better suits Yana, this cute Seraphim would look good on Alyssa, and the skirt and cardigan would look nice on Lena. We're taking Alyssa. If only they could be real. No, I saw them, heard them, could even touch them. But still, they are here, and I simply don't belong in this place. It's alien to me. I'm just waiting for a chance to get out of here. Waiting because nothing is up to me anymore. I sighed and put my head on the table and fell asleep. I was awoken by the noise of the door opening. Oh, hi, Lena. Lena stood at the door. The nurse isn't here? Then I'll come back later. I'm substituting for her. Since I'm responsible for the pioneers' lives, I should take full responsibility. Pretty music. Although, in fact, I was afraid of something bad happening because of me. Any health complaints? I tried to give Lena the most professional smile I could in order not to confuse her. Nothing special. Just a little headache. Let's do this. Some painkillers, maybe. Of course, I wasn't aware where to find required medicines, so it took me a while to find them. Finally, I handed painkiller tablet to Lena. Thanks. She smiled. It was completely unexpected that I lost touch with reality staring at her. What? Lena turned awkward in an instant. Listen, I've been wondering, do you like this? I don't know what got into me, but I grabbed the magazine from the table and showed her a picture of a skirt and a cardigan, which would really suit Lena, in my opinion. Maybe I went completely nuts, thinking about all the girls being in my world. Or maybe I wanted to distract myself instead of just waiting for the nurse to come back. Lena looked at the picture. Yes, I guess. Is stuff like this in fashion? I guess. She got confused and started blushing. Why do you ask? Really, why? No. Compliment the girl. No. I refuse. We're going full Alyssa. We were quiet for some time. How is your headache? Much better, thank you. She smiled. I'll be off. Good luck. Lena went out and I continued looking through the magazine. Alyssa, Alyssa. After a while, somebody knocked on the door again. It seems that the infirmary is the most popular place to go. I suddenly decided to roleplay a nurse. Just a male version. That's still a nurse, Sam. They are still nurses, Sam. Nurse is not a gendered word. And said, come in. Oh, it's you. The door opened and Yana entered the room. Wow, did I miss the moment when you decided to start knocking? Anything wrong with me knocking? She frowned. Where does it hurt? Why on earth would I tell you? Where's the nurse? Right in front of you. I imposingly crossed my legs and looked questioningly at her. I'd better go. It'd be better to die than to be treated by you. She smiled mischievously. You didn't even let me try. Yana thought for a moment. No, you could give me some pills. Yana. What's bothering you? It took her some time to reply. A heavy stomach. Sure it's not an empty head? I muttered under my breath. What did you say? Nothing. Give me a second. I found the pills in the first drawer I opened. Thank you, doctor. She smiled cheerfully. Watching Yana, I could not imagine how an optimistic and active child could have any health problems. Nope. Food poisoning. Considering the local coincidence, it's not that surprising. Maybe. She smirked. I see you're still alive and kicking. Well, I'm not complaining. Bye. Yana ran out of the infirmary, slamming the door. Again, I went back to studying Soviet fashion trends. Time passed, but the nurse was still absent. I wasn't searching for Sharik. Wasn't looking for any clues concerning my situation. I was just sitting and flipping through a magazine. Just for a moment, I felt quite satisfied with the situation. So far, everything that has happened here could be seen as just a trip to a summer camp. If nothing changes anytime soon, then I can start worrying. Again, somebody knocked on the door. Did I miss the outbreak of an epidemic? Oh, it's you. Self was standing at the doorway. Oh, hi! Isn't the nurse here? No, get out. No, she's not here. I'm taking over for today. Great. Don't say great. She hesitated. What? No, it's nothing. Strange. I wouldn't even think that such an open person as Self would keep it. It has something to do with her period, doesn't it? Something quiet. If there's something bothering you, tell me. That's why I'm here, to treat people. I smiled widely. No, I mean, yes, but no. Hearing that made anything possible, even division by 0. So how can I help you? You? I guess you can't. She smiled and was going to leave, but suddenly stopped. However, could you step out for a moment? Why not? Okay. Is she gonna, a pet or something? I wonder what she might be doing. Something that I can't even see. After a moment, the door opened and Self came out. She was carrying a small bundle. I called it. Don't ask about the bundle. Do not ever ask about the bundle. Do not make them embarrassed. Don't ask about it. Good luck, I shouted after her. Thank you. She gave me one of her sweetest smiles for leaving. Now I got you, girl. If you need, painkillers, please come back. I looked at the time. It was getting late, and I'd read the magazine backwards and forwards, and the nurse still wasn't here. Hey! Suddenly the door burst open, and Alyssa rushed inside. Banger intro song. She looked at me piercingly. What are you doing here? Sitting. I admit honestly. Okay then. It's even better without the nurse, she murmured. Are you sick? I added acidly. Alyssa didn't answer and came closer to me. Move over. Why? So I can open the drawer. Isn't it obvious? What for? She got angry. None of your business. Well, I'm kinda in charge here. She gave a moment's thought. Then give me some activated carbon. Stomachache? Yeah. She grinned sharply. I got a feeling there was something wrong here. Give it to her. Give it to her. I have a feeling it's going to be given to the person that pissed her and her roommate off. So, give it to her. But you never know. What if she really has an ache? Okay. I reached in the drawer and got out a packet of activated carbon. Thanks. She wrestled it from my hand and ran away. Bye. It was 15 minutes till dinner and the nurse still wasn't back. I guess just leaving the place like this won't do. She asked me to look after it after all. And who knows what might happen if I leave. Though, who would want to steal anything from here? Maybe the girl who has no hesitation about putting bugs in people's food would have no hesitation on putting medicines in people's food. Except for Alyssa stealing activated carbon. I opened the magazine again and began flipping through for the 9th time. All the fashions of the 80s weren't that fun anymore. Yawning got me several times. It was already 6 o'clock, so dinner has already started. Of course, I had to be on watch till the end, but my stomach seemed to have its own opinion on the matter. I stood up and steadily headed to the exit. A rustling sound came from behind the door. Could it be someone who got poisoned, broke their arm, or something even worse? I sighed heavily and pulled the doorknob. However, there was no one out there. Seems it was just my imagination. I returned inside and instantly noticed that something had changed in the infirmary. To be precise, an apple had appeared on the table. Oh, well that's not suspicious. But where from? Fruits can't just materialize from thin air by themselves, can they? Though, in this camp, anything is possible. Chances are someone just brought it here. Maybe Lena wanted to thank me. Given she's all shy but wait, how could she just slip past me like that? Lena wouldn't climb through the window after all. So there must be something else. I was suddenly overwhelmed by fear. What if the apple is poisoned? Though, why would someone complicate things when I'm already helpless and could be killed in a more easier way? Or, it might be the apple in which Eve tasted in the Garden of Eden. You're not even in the garden, my guy! In that case, I certainly shouldn't eat it. What? The second time, the same second, my stomach reminded me it was there by rumbling treacherously. However, it would take time to close the infirmary, to reach the canteen, to get food. My stomach's gonna eat itself. There's nothing wrong, I guess. Once again, I tried to remember the apple was here before. In the end, it must have appeared from somewhere. Maybe it got here through the window? The shutter was slightly open, so someone must have reached in and put it there. Nothing serious, however. You know what? If we dyin', we dyin'. I feel like this is the carbon. I feel like this is Alyssa and the apple is poisoned. But not really poisoned. So we're eating it anyway. Finally, hunger prevailed and I started chewing on the ripe green apple with gusto. Its taste seemed normal. Although, I don't think that even the strongest poison can be tasted. But it's too late to think about that. It's time to go for dinner. On the way, I ran into Electronik. How's it going? You find Sharik? No, still no sign of him. Don't worry, we'll find him. I tried to cheer him up. Too much time has passed. I'll just keep on searching. What about dinner? No, finding Sharik is more important. He muttered thoughtfully. I left him at the crossroads and wished him good luck. Someone's over here like, not my problem. See ya. Pioneers crowded in the doorway. I quickened my pace, trying not to be the last one in line, at least for today. I was lucky. In the far corner, there was an absolutely empty table. I took my dinner quickly and sat down at the table. Tonight's dinner consisted of fruit soup and a pair of buns. This set surprised me at first, but the taste was actually nice. I concentrated on eating. Nina, let's go here. Look, 3 free chairs. No. If one of you isn't Alyssa, then no. Lena and Miku stood in front of me. Are these taken? Worded Lena. Wondered Lena. No, take a seat. Of course. I wish she was were alone. No. Thank you. Xenia, hey. As soon as Lena said that, Xenia jumped out from behind her back. I'll sit here. There's no places left, she said, putting her tray on the table and sitting down, not even waiting for my answer. Sure, make yourself at home, I muttered sorrowfully. What? Nothing. To tell the truth, I want to reduce the whole company to just Lena, though neither Miku or Xenia were causing much trouble. Why? We haven't gone that close to Lena. Like, at all. If anyone, I expect this was salve. Because you did lay on top of her that one time. Except one was too talkative and the other was too arrogant. I prefer Xenia over Lena. Nonetheless, they were absolutely harmless. Especially comparing to some others I could name. Alyssa. Yana. Oh, it seems like I forgot my key. Don't worry, take mine. I was surprised by Miku's short reply. Do you live together? Of course, didn't you know? Together. Our cabin is the most rearmost. I mean, the furthest from here. I mean, the last one. I wouldn't have been surprised if somebody told me that Lena lived with Salve. Or with Xenia, at worst. Even Electronik. But silent, shy Lena and excessive, talkative Miku as a pair? That's really a surprise. Did you find Sharik? Oh, that wasn't Miku. Did you find Sharik? It was strange that Xenia was disturbed by someone's problems. No. Surely he's at the village buying cigarettes. What? Or vodka. She snorted. Village? At that moment, the conversation got much more interesting. Got a problem with the villages? Xenia looked amazed. You mean there's a village nearby? I think so, she said uncertainly. I looked at Lena and Miku, but they were too busy with their meals and did not pay attention to our conversation. You mean you don't know exactly? Why should I care? Xenia stared at her dish. But there must be something nearby. Listening? I don't know. Would you let me eat? Seems like I won't get anything from her. Though there is a chance she really doesn't know. The remaining time was spent listening to Miku talking about some nonsense. I was just going slowly mad in silence. Obviously, the first thing I did after getting out after that was a great breath of fresh air. The sun was setting. I decided to take a walk. It was highly unlikely that I would find anything. Well, I gotta readjust. Find anything more exciting to do for the rest of the evening. That way something interesting could arise quite unexpectedly. I was approaching the square when I heard a loud bang. Oh, that is rock music. Alyssa. It seemed like something had exploded. I was paralyzed. I'm in a hostile environment, not knowing the rules or laws of this place. It would have been better for me to run, but at the same time I was curious. I probably would have just kept standing there, but somebody grabbed my hand. Olga! It was Olga. Why are you standing there? Let's go and see what happened. Can't you ever manage without me? I begged her pitifully. It shouldn't be anything serious, I hope. We came to the square and there was already a crowd of pioneers. Olga vigorously pushed through the crowd and approached the crime scene. Obviously, someone had tried to blow up Genda, but the attackers failed. The monument was still standing upright. There was only dim ash traces on the pedestal. Well, who did this? She looked over the crowd of pioneers. Surely it wasn't done by organized terrorist organization. These guys all came here just to look at what happened. I noticed Yana and Alyssa in the crowd. It looks like our camp leader noticed them too. You two, come here. They approached reluctantly. Why always me? If you think so. Show me your hands, Alyssa. What's wrong with them? I looked closer and saw that they were smeared with black. Now it's clear. What did you make a bomb with? The junior terrorist seemed to hesitate over whether or not to confess, but then blurted out proudly. Activated carbon, saltpeter, and sulfur. Oh, I love her. I adore her so much. Why exactly the monument? What did this honored man ever do to you? The fighter of the rights of... Besides, he gave me activated carbon. She pointed at me with her finger and the whole square stared at me. Thoughts about the pointlessness of this act due to the small bomb size left me at that very moment. She stole it. I did nothing. Even if he gave it to you, I'm sure that Sam would never take part in such a disgusting antisocial act. Yes, exactly. I agreed. I can hardly imagine how long she would have kept on scolding Alyssa if Electronik hadn't popped out at that very moment shouting, I found it! Not him? You didn't find Sharik, just it? Everyone turned towards him. He held a boot in his hand. Here! Electronik boastfully shook it over his head. It's Shariq's boot! Okay, calm down. Tell us in detail where you found it. In the forest. On the way to the old camp. Whispers ran among the pioneers. Old camp. The old camp. Are you sure? Absolutely. What's so special about this old camp? I joined in the conversation. Oh, it's nothing special, really. She stammered. One of the owl's legends tells the story of a young camp leader's ghost living there. She fell in love with a pioneer, but he rejected her, and so she killed herself. What? 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 Nani? She committed harakiri with a kitchen knife. All right then. The next day, the boy was hit by a bus. Yana ran out of the crowd. Bus? I refrained from asking about the route number. But the science doesn't acknowledge the existence of ghosts, so we have nothing to be afraid of. Anyway, somebody should go there. Suddenly the crowd started to thin out. It's gonna be you, Sam. Olga, it's almost night. Maybe tomorrow? I turned around and saw Salve and Lena. What if at night something happens to him? No, today, right now. By the way, where is this place? Electronik roughly described to me the directions and told me the story of the old camp. The camp leader looked at me attentively. If you think that you're the only man here. Bullshit! There's Electronik right there! I'm not the only guy. I looked around the area. Of course. Electronik was quick to flee. Ah, the bastard. I still didn't want to walk in the woods alone. You asked me, I would go with Alyssa. Baby girl. And Alyssa goes with you. It was as if Olga had read my mind. Why's that? Well, who tried to blow up the monument? And, if that wasn't enough, who also tried to slander Sam? She said in such a voice that Alyssa did not dare argue. Happy now? She blurted once we were left alone. What did I have to do with this? Was it me who tried to blow up the monument? Alyssa grunted and turned away. I'm not going anywhere with you. Oh, please don't. Great then. Excellent. We stood silently for a while, not looking at each other. I dared to break the silence first. Is that all? All what? All you wanted to tell me? Yes, that's all. Do you mind if I inquire why you tried to blow up the monument? I was bored. Yeah, right, blowing it up would definitely cheer you up. Alyssa seemed really reluctant to go with me. As for me, however, I've decided to find Shariq after all. It wasn't him who interested me the most, but the abandoned camp. For some reason, I had a feeling that I might find out something there. And I really did not like the idea of going alone at night. So, you're scared then? Are you daring me? I used the wrong voices for those two, whatever. She gave me a sarcastic smile. Oh no, I never. Good luck if you're staying then. I turned around and started walking in the direction where the old camp should have been. Alyssa caught up with me at the forest edge. Wait up! I'm going with you. And why did you decide to change your mind all of a sudden? I asked, ironically. You don't need to know. She snarled and handed me a flashlight. It was quite wise. That was quite wise. I don't know what I would have done in the dark if it wasn't for Alyssa. Electronik had told us that the old building was built right after the war. It looked like a kindergarten or a barracks, I expected, and definitely could hold fewer pioneers than today's camp. It looked like it had been abandoned for 20 years. The night forest was completely unlike during the day. Just a couple hours ago, seemed just a small groove where even a blind man wouldn't get lost. However, as the darkness fell, the trees seemed to grow up and the branches suddenly took up all the free space, and the paths, so wide in daylight, turned to barely visible waves in the dark green forest ocean. The final strokes of this picture were the birds, the insects, and the beasts, who were giving a concert, each with their own instruments, creating together an amazing yet frightening nocturnal symphony. We walked slowly, Alyssa a bit ahead of me in her wake, trying not to fall too far behind. She acted self-assured to a fault. Absolutely not like me. Every rustling of bushes nearby or a hoot and a owl overhead made me cringe and look around timidly. Of course, it was obvious there was not much to fear here. The local woods weren't likely to be teeming with wild beasts, and it seemed like there was no people at all in this world apart from those in the camp. However, the fear was there on an instinctual level, and I tried to walk carefully and stay as watchful as I could. Discretion is the better part of valor, after all. Alyssa stopped suddenly. So suddenly that I nearly bumped into her. Now where? What? Well, straight ahead, I guess. Are you sure? I tried to figure out the directions. It looks like we're going the right way. Or at least the way suggested by Electronik. However, without a map, without a GPS, and without a navigation system, I wasn't even sure that we were still on the same planet, wherever it was. We haven't taken any turns. We've been walking straight forward all the time, just like Electronik said. So why haven't we made it to the old camp yet? How should I know? Alyssa's rude way of talking was already getting on my nerves. Are we already lost? Why would you say that? We're barely a kilometer away from the camp. So what? She looked visibly sadder. So nothing. If you don't like it, you can go back. Alyssa eyed me disappointingly for a while, and her face changed sharply. Well, I will then. She suddenly turned around and started marching briskly back towards the camp. Good luck there, I shouted as she was going. However, Alyssa may be right, and we are in fact lost. In which case, it was not a good idea to stay here alone. The cool night breeze blew stronger, and I shivered. But going after her would mean losing face, and even worse, admitting she's right. No, I'm not ready to accept that. I could have probably spent the entire morning arguing with myself about this if it wasn't for Alyssa's scream. My legs carried me on their own towards where she went. About 20 meters, I nearly fell into a hole, managing to jump over it at the last moment. As for Alyssa, it looked like she had not managed to. I was about to point the flashlight into the darkness when I realized what she'd taken with her. Well, that had to be expected. Are you alive? Yeah. Her muffled voice sounded up from below. Did you break anything? Hell if I know, idiot! The light flickered in the hole. I stepped closer and bent down to examine how deep it was. The crumbling hole was 3 meters in depth, but it was pitch black below. Help me get out! Alyssa yelled angrily. And how do you imagine I should do that? I don't know, think of something. Well, what do you see now? Describe it. Well, it's sort of a tunnel and not just a tunnel. A tunnel? That's weird. Come on, get down here. Is that the best idea you have? I'd rather run for the camp for a rope. You're going to leave me here alone? Alyssa's voice lost much of its imprudence. But you're alone down there anyway. Hey! She cried out loud and directed the flashlight right into my eyes. Well, don't panic. Trolls aren't going to eat you there. I'll be back in a flash. Alyssa was screaming herself into a fit down below, so I couldn't make out the words. However, I only managed to take a few steps before the ground yielded under my feet, and before I knew it, I was tumbling down. I grabbed a thin root and managed to slow down my fall. but it snapped under my weight and went flying down with me. That's what you get for trying to say you'd leave her. You're alive? Oh, hello. I barely opened one eye as I felt searing spotlight upon me. Ugh, put it away. Alyssa was squatting next to me and looking at me in a nervous manner. Any limbs broken? I don't know. I moved my hands and feet. Everything seemed fine. Given the height, I'm pretty lucky to make it down alive. I barely managed to stand up and examine the crash site. Indeed, we were in some kind of long corridor. There was some kind of heavy wiring among the walls and lamps encased in heavy metal holders attached to the ceiling. In any other situation, I would have guessed this was a subway service tunnel, but it was hardly likely that Owl has already reached that level of infrastructure. Where are we? I don't know, but we have to get out of here. Climbing up the crumbled wall was hardly an option. In fact, I was wondering how we even survived a fall from such a height. Well, it seems like we've got to find an exit somewhere. How do we do that? Alyssa asked, slowly turning pale. Not a trace of her usual arrogance remained on her face. Well, I guess there's got to be an exit here, right? Probably, but which way do we go? Now, that's a good question. At first glance, it seemed like a good idea to head towards the camp, or at least the direction I thought it was. But I haven't seen anything there that resembled an exit from the catacombs, which means that we should rather try the opposite direction. Give me that. I snatched the flashlight from Melissa's hand and pointed its light into the darkness. That way. We were slowly proceeding forward, Alyssa keeping a firm grip on my hand. In other circumstances, I might have been surprised, embarrassed, or even rejoiced. How should I know? But right now, I was eager to get out of here as soon as possible. My bruises from the fall were aching. The blood was pulsing in my head like a heavy pendulum. Even the flickering spotlight that kept illuminating the same cement walls continually wasn't exactly raising our morale. Damn, there's also Sharik. What? Why did we go into the night forest in the first place? To find Sharik? Oh, just forget him. He might have fallen down here like us. Of course, Alyssa has a point. This wasn't the best time to engage in such a search mission. If we didn't manage to get out, there would be a search mission for us instead. But I couldn't take my mind off this tonight. It was as if Sharik was standing right before my eyes, giving me a reproachful look. Look out! Alyssa yelled. I almost crashed into a massive metal door. The biohazard sign immediately caught my eye. That means we're in a bomb shelter. I mumbled under my breath. Yeah, I've heard of something like that. You have? Why didn't you mention it before? How would I know it'd be important? I guess you're right. Fine. I grasped the door's wheel and pushed it as hard as I could, managing to turn it. The rusting metal grated and refused to budge. Stop slacking, help me. Alyssa hesitated a little, but then grasped the handle and started to pull. We finally managed to turn the wheel and the door opened. It was hard to mistake the room we were entering for anything else. This was definitely a bomb shelter. Cabinets full of gas masks, dry rations, lots of equipment, bunk beds, and air recirculation systems. There was everything one would need to survive a nuclear war. Well, at least survive the first blast. Alyssa clenched my arm even tighter. What is it? What? She blabbered under her breath. I'm scared. What are you scared of? Indeed, what of? We tumbled down into an abandoned bomb shelter. Now we're wandering in here in the dark, trying to find an exit. Oh yeah, nothing to be afraid of. Those thoughts made me squirm, and I instinctively drew nearer to Alyssa. She didn't say a thing, just blushed a little and turned her back to me. Well, in any case, what? We have to keep searching for an exit. Well, there's another door. Indeed, there was a door along on the far wall, just like the one we had came in through. However, no matter how hard I tried to open it, it was stuck. Need some help? No, it's jammed for good. I glanced around the room and trying to find something that would work as a lever and noticed a crowbar in the far corner. Great! Alyssa gave me a blank stare. Watch it. However, I couldn't move the handle an inch, even using the crowbar. Totally exhausted, I flopped onto a neatly made bunk and gave a sigh. We have to walk back. But we just came from there. Alyssa seemed to regain a bit of her self-control as well as her usual rudeness. Well, you can stay here if you want. There's water, ration kits, probably the radio's still working. She looked at me spitefully and said nothing. My whole body ached terribly. It was only now I tried to relax that I began to realize how badly. A deep wound in my leg was bleeding profusely, and my hands were heavily bruised. Blood was thickening in my hair. Are you okay? I asked Alyssa, either out of courtesy or because I was worried about her. It took her some time to answer. How can we be okay in a situation like this? Well, I mean that... I pointed to the wound on my leg. Oh! Cried Alyssa. We need to sanitize it urgently. No need. I'll survive. No, stop! We must do it, or you risk getting getting infected, and they'll take your leg off. My granddad lost his leg like that in the war. Alyssa looked truly concerned, and I decided not to argue. Okay, but it's kind of a long way to the infirmary. Hang on. She smiled and started to rummage through the cabinets. There was a fair chance of finding some kind of medicine in a bomb shelter, and soon enough Alyssa pulled out a first aid kit with a triumphant look. Okay, hold still. Well, I'll try. Treating the wound with an iodine-soaked cotton swab felt like a touch of a red-hot iron. I clenched my teeth hard and hissed with pain. Oh, come on, it's not that painful. It is. Maybe you should try it yourself. It was easier with my other wounds, and soon enough I looked like a leopard, all covered in brown spots. Thanks. Don't you think that was anything special? We just had to treat your injuries. Alyssa snorted and turned her back on me. Sure. I refrained from arguing and got up from the bunk. But even that short rest had definitely been good for me. Well, shall we go? Alyssa clenched my arm and walking close in step with me. We headed back slowly, carefully looking for a hole in the ceiling. The tunnel seemed endless. We couldn't find the place we fell down, not after 5 or even 10 minutes. Are we lost? Alyssa asked sadly. It might be possible to get lost in the forest. It came to me that that's exactly what we'd accomplished half an hour ago, so refraining from scaring her even further, I continued with confidence. But this is a single-street tunnel. You can't get lost here. So, where are we going to end up then? My words didn't seem to calm Alyssa down enough. We'll get out of here. There's always an exit. Really? Of course there is. The workers that built it somehow got back to the surface, didn't they? Yeah, I guess. It appeared she was trying her hardest to look bold as usual, but it wasn't turning out well. In the dim light, it was evident that Alyssa was shivering. A look of extreme exertion was plastered on her face. Fine. Let's move forward. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. A few minutes, In a few minutes, I noticed a hole on the floor. It looked like a shell crater, large enough to get ourselves through. What's down there? Hell if I know. I kneeled and pointed the light downwards, damp ground and some kind of real tracks. Must be a mine. Alyssa looked at me questioningly. Of course, we could easily sidestep the hole, but my instincts insisted that we wouldn't encounter anything good proceeding down the tunnel either. There would either be a dead end or yet another jammed door. On the other hand, it was naive to believe we would find an exit in the mines. We should give it a try. Worst case scenario, we'll just come back. It's low enough for us to climb back up later. Her face took on a suffering expression. Then Alyssa turned away from the light and quietly said, "If you say so." So pretty, but so scary. As I thought, we were in the mines. Mines of rust-eating tracks stretched far down the corridors. I could virtually see the overloaded mine carts creaking along these tracks ages ago. The walls were propped up by rotten beams, and water occasionally dripped from the ceiling. I wasn't sure it was scarier here or in the catacombs of the bomb shelters above. I'd like to say that up there was like a post-apocalyptic setting, and down here, occult medievalism reigned. In any case, I was more eager to get out and do it as soon as possible. Alyssa didn't utter a word after we descended into the mines. She just walked next to me, clenching my hand so hard I started to worry. "Are you alright?" "No," she said quietly. "I understand that it can't be okay, but how are you holding up?" "Fine," she replied with that indifferent voice. "That's good, because I really wanted to say it, because if you go nuts, it's going to be a massacre. Because we'll find an exit. We'll definitely find one." Yeah. It seemed like she wouldn't last much longer. We should go faster. I quickened my steps as we reached a fork after a couple dozen meters. Well, so which way? Alyssa seemed to have completely disconnected from the outer world, and didn't worry about what would happen to us or how we could leave this place. Well, let's think. To the left or to the right? And what if we get lost? I tried to put a mark on the wall in case we get lost and return to the spot again. Soon a large cross sketched with a stone decorated one of the beams. Now we're ready to go. Oh no, no, no. Oh, no. No. Welcome to the horror game part of this game. It sucks, but I'm going to leave on a cliffhanger because I'm very tired and I don't want to pass out. And I want to be fully conscious when going through this part of the game, so find out what happens to our protagonist in a different tomorrow stream, actually, because I'm streaming tomorrow. All that. Hi. Thank you everyone for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.